when I tell you I have been waiting all day for this package, I mean it. And it's finally here. My new Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Matte Beauty Blush Wands came in, and I have to literally just squirt these on my face. Like, I need to see these and spread it all over my face. I'm so excited for this product. I have a good feeling about this, hopefully. I've had my makeup on all day, and I purposefully didn't set or put any blush on in anticipation of this review. So my makeup, if it looks a little worn, it is. I'm actually testing, this is unrelated, but I'm testing the new KVD Serum Foundation. I didn't film a wear test today, but I'm going to tomorrow, so there will be a video up of it eventually. But today I'm just kind of getting a feel for the foundation, but it's been on for a few hours, so we're not looking the freshest. And on my eyes, I have on the Natasha Denona Love Face Palette, just the matte colors, and they make a really pretty kind of grape look. Love it. Anyways, I just wanted to play with the makeup I was excited about today. But anyways, Charlotte Tilbury just launched her new Pillow Talk Matte Liquid Blushes. In the last couple of years, she went very viral for her contour, highlight, liquid blush situation that she has here, the Beauty Light Wands. And actually, she actually does already have blushes in this form, but they are high blushes, meaning they're kind of like a highlighter and blush hybrid. So she's introduced a new matte formulation in these that I'm going to test today. She launched 4 shades on her website. I will have them linked down below if you wish to purchase. If it's your first time ordering from Charlotte Tilbury, or if you put in a new email, if you use my code, you can save. I think it's 15% if you want to save some money on that. I will have that link down below. But these are $42 each. That's why I'm mentioning that. These are very, very pricey. It's Charlotte Tilbury, but that doesn't mean it doesn't hurt whether or not I was expecting it. But $42 each. She launched 4 shades. I picked up 3 of the 4. The one I did not pick up was Dream Pop. It was a red shade. I just thought it would not work well with my skin tone, but I am going to try the other 3 for you today. So she says on her website these are inspired by the world famous Beauty Light Wands, but they are now matte that are going to lift and revive the look of every complexion. Let's see. So when you order them, they are going to just come in the classic Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk box that all of her Pillow Talk products come from. The product itself is made in Italy and has a 12-month shelf life. So here are the 3 shades that I picked up. I have Pillow Talk Peach Pop, Pillow Talk, and then Pillow Talk Pink Pop. I love the names. I think they are so cute, but let's go ahead and swatch them. We'll start off with Pillow Talk Pink Pop. So if you are new to the product, the packaging is matte, and you're going to twist to open it, and there's a sponge applicator. And when you squeeze, the product's gonna come through. Here's the pink shade, Pink Pop. Okay, yes, it's definitely missing the metallic in the formula. Let that dry down. So while that dries down on my hand, we're gonna do Peach Pop. It still feels kind of empty, like the highlight wands, so just be prepared for that. Ooh, that one is brighter than I thought. We'll see how they sheer out. And then we have the classic Pillow Talk, which looks more mauvey. Honestly, it's more rosy than I thought it was going to be. Normally, Pillow Talk shades pull kind of peachy sometimes, but Pink Pop, Peach Pop, Pillow Talk. Let's see what happens when I blend it out. This has been sitting on my hand for a minute or 2. Okay. It has not the thinnest feel to it. It's not pure liquid, but it does feel quite lightweight and airy. So I'm going to let this sit on my hand like this to see if it dries down. And we're just going to put them on the face. I mean, I don't really have much else I can say. So at the current moment, the light is too bright. At the current moment, I don't have any powder on my cheeks, just a little bit on my under eyes. Just to test it out, I'm going to take my Rare Beauty highlight brush and a little bit of this Pat McGrath powder, and I'm just going to set it over the T-zone area where I would normally set on one side to see if anything weird happens. But we'll leave the other side blank. Let's just see what Pillow Talk can do. I'm excited. This is the classic color. So how she does it on her website is she puts literally a dot on the cheek and then uses a brush to blend it out. So I'm going to keep this towards the back of my cheek just to see. And I don't want to use swiping motions because you don't want to force the product underneath to move. But this Pillow Talk shade, it is the deepest of the three. And you can see it really blended out. This is a very natural color on my skin tone. From what I can see, the finish of it, it looks like skin. It doesn't have any metallic sheen to it at all. It blends right in with the foundation, and honestly, I would say this holds the integrity of the finish of the foundation that you have underneath. So if you have a glowy foundation, the glowiness is going to show through from what I'm able to see. It doesn't enhance or change the finish like, say, the blush ones, the light ones that have the highlight in there, which will add more sheen. Does that make sense? More sheen and shimmer. Let's do another dot because I feel like we could. And I want to use my fingers. I feel like you get more out of the color when you use the finger because the brush soaked up a little bit of product. But just to soften the edges, I'm going to use my Juvia's Place sponge because you can't get a really good blend with your fingers as nice as you can with the sponge. But you can totally work this out with your fingers, though I do prefer a tool like a sponge, especially on the outer parts of where you applied the product, just to have it blend in seamlessly with the makeup. But yeah, you can build up the color as well. Interesting. So I'm just playing with the product, seeing how it applies, and I have now layered it on 3 times and there is no disrupting happening underneath, which is amazing, and I really enjoy this color. This definitely suits my skin tone, and I think if you're more on the fair side, these lighter colors, if you use just a little bit, they blend out very nicely. I don't think they're going to look oversaturated on your face. But if you use especially your finger to blend and you push it in with your fingers and not something like a brush or a sponge, you can keep the saturation if you do want it to show a little bit more. So I'm really liking the versatility that we have with this in terms of how you blend it. And while it does say it's a matte finish, it's not drying whatsoever. It actually has quite a hydrating feel to it. It just doesn't have shimmer reflex in here, which I really like. I think it looks a lot more natural this way. And just the way that the light's hitting me through the window, you can see that my skin does have a natural glow with it. That's just the oil from my foundation sitting on my face. The blush didn't dry any of that up. It really went seamlessly onto the skin, which I really like. So I'm liking this. Let's go back to the hand. Did these set down? They did. It took a bit. You have some time before they dry down, but now these feel like they aren't going anywhere. No, they aren't rock hard or solid or really dry. They still feel hydrated on my skin, but they've just definitely set down. That's really good. That gives me hope for longevity on this product. I'm really excited about this peach color. I think it's going to be bright. Let's keep it on the apple of my cheek. And I do want to see if anything weird happens because I do have a wee bit of powder. I'm just going to put this right on the apple. We'll do a little bit of a bigger dot because I feel like we have some play time with this. Well, let's start off with my finger, actually, just to see how much color we're going to get. This one was the brightest swatching on my cheek, but it did dull out a little bit. It's not as bright as it looked in the swatch. It's definitely not as concentrated, but this is very pretty. I don't normally wear blush this color. I was really dumb to do such dark eye makeup today. I'm sorry. Why would I do that? Hopefully it's not distracting you too much. That's really pretty. Again, it didn't look dry on my face at all, but it also isn't adding any additional glow. I feel like the blush blended a little bit better over the side that didn't have powder, but I'm not having any issues at all. I can definitely feel that the powder underneath did cause this liquid blush to dry up a little quicker. Not dry up, but dry down a little bit quicker. So if you have powder, just keep that in mind. But oh my gosh, it looks really seamless on the skin. And again, did not disrupt anything. I'm going to go into Pink Pop now. I think this one might be popular. Oh, it has a little bit more peachiness than I thought, honestly. And I did more than a dot because it's definitely a brighter shade. I'll start off by using my finger to blend it out. Honestly, these two look kind of similar on my cheek. Nothing crazy, but the peach pop has more peachy poppiness to it. That was a terrible description. It definitely pops more, the peach one, and the pink one I feel like is more natural, especially for more fair complexions. I think you'll like the peach pop. That's pretty. It's not my favorite of the three, but I actually want to do another coat. Let's build it up. I'm being a chicken. I'm scared to get too much on the applicator. This is a BK Beauty 106 brush that I'm using, by the way. It has synthetic fibers, so it's really great for blending out liquid products. So it does build up, and again, I don't notice any disruption of the product underneath, which is very, very important to me when it comes to a liquid blush. So hopefully you can see the color a little bit better now. So this one is Pillow Talk. This one is definitely my favorite of the three. I think it complements my skin tone the best. Peach Pop is the cheek color, and then Pink Pop's probably my least favorite. I just think it shows up the least on me, but it's going to be beautiful on those of you with a fair complexion. Let's do the cold girl look. I thought this would be a little bit more blue based, but it definitely has some warmth to it. I'm going to use my sponge, because I don't want to be obnoxious with the color here. Yeah, when you use a sponge, the color is very, very minimal to blend it out. My suggestion for the best, most saturated application, if that's what you're going for, use your fingers to blend it out, and then use a brush or a sponge to kind of push out the edges to give it something more natural. But if the shade is dark and intimidating, or you want just a really light blush look, using a brush or a sponge is really great for kind of shearing that out. And it does feel like as it's been sitting on my cheeks, it's definitely set. Like I can't blend it out anymore, really. Oh, that's so pretty. I love the formula of this. Okay, so these are hard to get off. This is very good for longevity. A good sign, at least. We'll see. But, ugh. Okay, I did want to compare the high blushes to the matte blushes so you can see them on my hand. This is from the Glowgasm collection, so we have Peachgasm and Pinkgasm. So if you have Pinkgasm or Peachgasm, they are right here. This is what they look like compared to the matte blushes. You can see the reflex in the formulation over here, how different it looks from the new matte blushes. Color-wise, Peachgasm almost looks like a baby of the peach and pink matte blushes. Definitely quite close to the peach one. And then Pinkgasm, kind of similar to Pillow Talk over here, right? But you can see totally different finishes, so they're going to look quite different on the cheeks. And honestly, I prefer the matte ones to the shimmer ones, because they just look so much more natural on the cheeks, and you can always amp up reflection with a highlight. But that's how they compare in case you were curious. Overall, so far, first impressions, I am very impressed. It was a good first impression from these guys. I think Charlotte Tilbury did a nice job with the formula. I like how they're not overly drying despite them being a matte formulation. I think they just go right in with whatever foundation you're wearing. I like how easy they are to blend. I think they're pretty buildable. They're not super pigmented products, but for a cheek product, I don't care for them to be very pigmented. I'm curious how the deepest shade is, because it is marketed obviously for deeper skin tones, but I feel like these three of the 4 shades work fine on my skin tone, but there is a lot of people with darker skin tone than me, so I'm very interested to see how that works. But for me, I'm very, very happy with the 3 shades that I picked up. Particularly Peach Pop and Pillow Talk are my favorite. And the proof is in the pudding, you guys saw. As far as where, I am going to update you in the comments to let you know if these stayed true to color. If they don't, my suggestion would be to put a powder blush over top. But I don't think you're going to need to with these, because they do dry down and the swatches were really promising. But I will confirm in the comments to let you know if it stayed up throughout the day. But I'm very, very happy with these. If you wanted to pick them up, I give them the thumbs up if you were interested. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask down below. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video and liking it, hopefully, and subscribing to my channel. I will catch you guys in the next video. I have a lot of stuff that I picked up recently to review, so I'm very, very excited. Okay, one additional point I wanted to make. I just put a little bit more on the apple of my cheek, and I think I let it set down a little bit too long without blending it, and it got a little stuck. So be careful about the layering with this, especially if you let it sit on your cheek too long, like I did. Okay, anyways, I just keep putting more on my cheeks. Okay, bye guys.